All right, welcome back to the channel. Look, we got another big pay-per-view coming up in October, and that is Gervonta Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz getting a little comfortable, clowning a little bit on Gervonta Davis when he was asked about Gervonta Davis's video that he did with Mike Tyson. Leo Santa Cruz said, yeah, man, he don't look fat no more. Well, him looking fat is what, or being fat or drained is what Leo Santa Cruz was counting on in this fight. So that ain't a good look for him. Let's talk about that and the pay-per-view in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the up-and-coming stars in boxing, has a really big push out of Mayweather Promotions, is going to be on his headline his first solo pay-per-view, I do believe in the third week of October, against Leo Santa Cruz. Gervonta Tank Davis is the 135-pound WBA regular champion. He is also the former WBA Super 100, the WBA World Super, because there's the Super and there's the regular, but the WBA Super 130-pound champion. And before that, he was the IBF 130-pound champion. So both of these guys are very, very decorated fighters. I do believe Leo Santa Cruz has been a champion at like 118, 122, 126, and 130. So he trying to fight for a title at 135, but with the catch weight that is at 130, you know, hey, that's Leo Santa Cruz for you, man. If you can't tell, I do not like Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz, like I said, had all those fights in those weight classes, but managed in every weight class to avoid the best fighter in it. Every time, whether it's Gary Russell Jr. at 126 pounds, or it's Leo Santa Cruz at 122 pounds. If somebody had a legitimate chance, not a legitimate chance, but had a clear advantage over Leo Santa Cruz, Leo Santa Cruz did not take the fight. So now at this point, he is finally in his career taking a fight against somebody that is a major, major risk for him. Even though he did lose to Carl Frampton and he won in the rematch against Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz, I think, had an advantage over everybody that I've seen him fight so far, except for the guys that he didn't fight. Like, again, Guillermo Rigondeaux 122, who would have beat him, would have beaten Abner Mares, and Gary Russell Jr. right now, who is at 126 and is a 126-pound WBC champion, and in the same weight class as Leo Santa Cruz, but Leo Santa Cruz cannot find a way to say his name. Now, why would Leo Santa Cruz be going up to 135 pounds? Well, originally he said he was going to 135 pounds, but then after Mikey Garcia and Robert Garcia got in his ears, he thought better of it and was like, nah, I can't go to 135. I'll fight for the 135-pound belt, though, but I'll fight for that 135-pound belt, but this fight has to be at 130. We have to weigh in at 130 for a fight at 135 pounds. You know, the similar type of garbage that Mikey Garcia did to Adrian Bronner. Like, what if Mikey Garcia is this big pound-for-pound star and is so much better than Adrian Bronner? Why'd you have to squeeze this dude and make sure that he was at some weight that was uncomfortable for him, right? Just gamesmanship. And this was something that was specifically suggested to Leo Santa Cruz by both Robert Garcia and Mikey Garcia. I was shocked originally that Gervonta Davis had said that he would acquiesce to that weight, but he did, and the fight is on. So we'll get to see now. But again, this was his whole strategy. This is his whole strategy, Leo Santa Cruz. When Leo Santa Cruz is asked about how he's actually going to perform in the fight with Gervonta Davis, the answer is that they're going to try to wear him down, right? Leo Santa Cruz is a volume puncher, right, who is constantly letting his hands go, shaking his hands left and right and throwing punches, constantly that they're just going to continue to pressure pressure Gervonta Davis. Not that Leo Santa Cruz can't fight going backwards a little bit. He certainly can. He can take a step backwards, can take a step to the side, step to the side. He's not, he is a world class fighter, but predominantly he's going to be trying to put pressure on Gervonta Davis and try to beat Gervonta Davis with the volume of punches that he's throwing. And hoping that the fight goes into the later rounds, and then that weight drain that he thinks that he put Gervonta Davis in will zap Gervonta Davis's strength, and he'll then be able to pile on points, win rounds, and get out of the fight that way. But he didn't want to fight Gervonta Davis at 135, where he felt Gervonta Davis would be at his full strength. So, I just don't have a lot of respect for I don't have a lot of respect for that, period. There's other fighters, dude, that are not doing any of that nonsense, that are coming in with all kind of disadvantages, that will fight anybody that you put in front of them. Those type of guys, man. And Leo Santa Cruz, to me, just doesn't strike me like that. Now, do I think that is actually going to be effective with Tank? No, I do not. Gervonta Davis, for this fight, which I do believe is in October, like October 20th or something, like 24th, but it's in the third week of it. Unlike what he usually does, Gervonta Davis had a 12-week training camp. 12-week training camp. So he had 4 weeks to get himself into his to shed the weight that he had on, and then 8 weeks to get his physical, to get his strength and conditioning in, and to actually work on his strategy for Leo Santa Cruz. And if you had paid attention to what Calvin Ford had said in the previous times that Gervonta Davis had seemingly had difficulties with weight, Calvin Ford, who is his trainer and is his manager, I do believe is his manager also, spoke to the fact that was a timing issue with Gervonta. But this time, I do believe Gervonta Davis is actually training out in Las Vegas with Floyd Mayweather Jr. So, dog, this is going to be, I expect Gervonta Davis to give Leo Santa Cruz just another level of a completely different level of a beatdown, because of several factors. Again, one is the 12-week training camp instead of an 8-week training camp. Number two, Gervonta Davis is much more experienced now. And if you looked at when he missed weight completely at in the fight with Francisco Fonseca. I think he missed by like 2 pounds against Francisco Fonseca, right? And I don't know if he ever even tried to come back, but then in the next fight, he made 130 and he made it by like half a pound. I mean, it was like clearly made 130. Came in, I think that was against maybe Hugo Chavez, if I recall the name correctly. And he came in against Hugo Chavez and he wore the dude out, man. Or I think it might have been a body shot or whatever that he knocked him out. So the fight didn't go a long distance, didn't go a long way. But you could see that in one where he missed weight, and the next one he made weight easily. He didn't miss weight at 135. He just missed it. He made 135 on the second go around after like an hour or whatever. But they were, chalking that up to timing and different things. I just think at this point in time, he should be disciplined enough to be able to make that weight and make it easy. And he's really not, and this is something Leo Santa Cruz said, Gervonta Davis is really not that big a guy as far as his his stature, right? He's like 5'5", 5'4.5", 5'5". He doesn't have particularly long arms, right? So if he carries a lot of water weight, which it looks like he does, he should be able to get that off and get down to 130 pounds. Now, the thing that I like most about Gervonta's camp this particular time is the fact that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is working hands-on with him, because I think that like a guy like Leo Santa Cruz at 130 pounds or 135 pounds, whatever it would be for Floyd Mayweather, who also fought down at that weight, man, that would be a guy that would be so tailor-made for Floyd Mayweather Jr. And I just think that him breaking down Leo Santa Cruz and training and participating in the training in a hands-on fashion for Gervonta Davis for this training camp is going to put him in very, very good stead for Leo Santa Cruz. In all, man, I think that Leo Santa Cruz is in here for the payday, that he is going to get the money that he's asking for, but he's also going to get a severe beatdown from Gervonta Davis, who could very well be entering in his prime, and also now has to follow up after Jermell Charlo and Jamal Charlo. Now, if you look at the way that Showtime laid out these pay-per-views, the introduction one is the doubleheader with the Charlos, right? And then after that is Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. And then the next PBC pay-per-view, which I think might be on Fox, is the Danny Garcia Errol Spence. But it's building now. But I can't speak for the numbers on Jermell and Jamal, but the actual show itself really stood out. Both of those headliners wound up coming out of that fight looking very good with their stock on the rise. And Gervonta is going to be under pressure to match that. So we'll see. And he is definitely under pressure to match that. He needs a spectacular performance against Leo Santa Cruz. He can't be going the distance and having people wonder what the deal is, or it's going to be tough. But I don't see that happening because Floyd and Gervonta picked this fight. So I think that they're going to do something nasty there. Anyway, it is what it is. That's my take on it. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.